it was great to be part of the events team for the SConcert 2017 Neon edition. I mean, there are a lot of ups. I wouldn't call them ups and downs. There are a lot of ups, a lot of problem-solving moments here during the planning of the SConcert 2017. I remember from us having meetings here in the marketing department, having series of meetings with our sponsors, which I'd like to say a big thank you to Ghana Post GPS, thank you to Express Savings and Loans, thank you to Casapreco, Storm Energy Drink, thank you to Haptel, thank you to Cosmopolitan Insurance, and thank you to Accra City Hotel for, lodging all our artists that came to perform on that night. Series of meetings, even with budgeting. I remember there was a back and forth with finance. Why should we add this? Why should we drop this? Why should we subtract this? And we had to defend it because this concert is in our hearts. We live it, we breathe it, we're thinking about it. As we walk through the corridors of Star FM, there are a lot of chit-chattings in little corners. What artists are we going to come up with? The artist process went through a lot of screening. I remember there were times when Kekeli, Lawrence, and Richmond would say the artists must have a video or a demo before they come on board. And then one time again, they said no. The SConcert made a lot of artists. For example, 2016 Ebony.
SConcert being the biggest show in Ghana. With the artists bit, we brainstormed on a couple of artists we want them to be on board. Yeah, so we had other artists too who wanted to be on the platform. Of course, you want to be on this concert. So yeah, other artists also came on board. And then we had over 55 artists, including undergrounds, upcoming, and then the bigger stars. Yeah. We engaged underground artists because SConcert is not just for the big stars. Yeah, we use that platform to also unleash other talents, other upcoming talents. We gave chance to other talents to also be on the platform. 55 artists, including the headline artists. And then yeah, we got some of them to the office to sign their contracts and all that. And then for the hype of it, some of them even wished, even though we had wanted them to do endorsement videos, some of them had already even started hyping it on the social media. They were so happy they were on SConcert. So we got endorsement videos from some of the big artists and then the underground artists, the upcoming artists. Everybody was happy. So we're going to put them out there on the day of the event. On the day of the event, before the event, yeah, we did a sound check for most of the artists, and it was amazing. Almost all the artists came for sound check. They came for sound check. They were happy to see a stage like that. The stage was so huge to the extent that some of the artists were like, "Which one? Charlie, this stage is there. I've never been on it before."
Talk about SConcert, let me throw some light on it. SConcert this year, 2017, dubbed Neon Edition was good, was fantastic, was one of the greatest events ever to hit Ghana and Africa at large. Because I tell you what, if you look at the setup itself, the stage, the number of people who, were in the stadium to show their love and their support for our musical concert, I tell you, it was amazing. Now, it's one of the biggest events where we always parade beautiful and great performers, talented performers. And this year EIB promised to bring to you stars, and I mean real stars. You saw them, People came in their numbers, and all the fans had their own support for each of the artists that came to perform. Talk about Samini, Ebony, and unfortunately, behind the scenes, hustle here and there that happened. That's all part of the game. And I believe that since we started SConcert 4 years ago, each year it gets better and bigger. There's always an improvement. We learn from our lessons. We try not just to give you just an event, but we give you an event to remember. I must tell you that I was very amazed when I was given the opportunity to stand on the big stage or the bigger stage as part of the MCs for this year Neon Edition. I really had fun. I did enjoy myself to the fullest. And I gave out my best. One of the few things that I think that going forward, we had to ensure that we get it correct or we fix it. It's the few checks at the gates. More especially, I'm saying this because, the stadium, yes, of course, we do our best to put security in place to check all these things. But the typical Ghanaian attitude or mentality, people always want to find loopholes. And so sometimes dealing with some of these agencies, the trust gets a bit shaky. But I know we will cross that river, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Apart from that, and I'm also looking for incident-free. There wasn't that much. There wasn't nothing like incident, but I'm talking about a little skirmishes, like people wanting to force their way up the stage when they were not given the opportunity or when their time was not due, and then also the discipline need to be imbibed into the artists, Ghanaian artists. I mean, you need to be professionals when you are given a set time to appear to perform on the stage. I believe you definitely have to do that with all diligence, But people do always want to wait for the last minute to come up to be like stars, and then people will see them like last minute performance and all that. And I think that the lessons learned this year, I wouldn't really want to blame nobody. I wouldn't want to blame Shatawale, because the other artists who were given the time to come to perform, they didn't really adhere to time. And time, they say, is money. And so therefore, these are lessons that all of us will learn, whichever way we find ourselves or whichever position that we find ourselves, to correct them and ensure we value time. Because, hey, there's a saying in Europe that if you can't do the time, one don't commit the crime. Once you can do the time and you commit the crime, it means, hey, you need to face it. But in all, I said, I must say, it was great. And I was so happy to be part of the bigger family, EIB, Excellent in Broadcasting. And we did it in a grand style. I mean, everybody from the security to the cleaner of our company, to the marketing team, the sales team, the finance team, the top executive, everybody, and even contractors that we hired to help or in diverse ways. I believe everybody gave out their best. The crowd, the fans, they were amazing, they were awesome. What can I say? I'm looking forward for the next one, and I think next year is going to be bigger than this one. Watch out Ghana, watch out Africa, watch out the whole world. We've come to stay, and we've come to stay, and we've come to conquer. Salute. SConcert. Onapo.